And that off. Race 2 is the Paddy Power from the Horse's Mouth podcast beginner's chase. 2 miles, 1 furlong and 11 fences to jump. Spaced across, over the far side it's Foot de Brazil. And the fighting line Ferrum footings in between those two. The quartered colours is Mundbeek Park, jumping into the lead. Nationale back in action over fences and goes on to just lead Foot de Brazil, Mundbeek Park, Ferrum footings, then Oh My Lord, the real deal next, and then Walk with Paul, and already a sizable 6 to 7 length break to the trailing Dutch Schultz. Nationale, the leader from Foot de Brazil, as they make tracks to fences 2 and 3 past the stands, disputing the third Ferrum footings in Mundbeek Park, and then Oh My Lord, the real deal, just a place in front of Walk with Paul, and Dutch Schultz brings up the rear. At fence number 2, Nationale and Foot de Brazil, a little awkward, as these two stride on from Mundbeek Park and Ferrum footings, and then Oh My Lord, the real deal, Walk with Paul and Dutch Schultz, as they face up to fence number 3. Nationale over that well and extended the lead over Foot de Brazil, then Ferrum footings, Mundbeek Park. Oh My Lord, Walk with Paul, the real deal. Dutch Schultz remains the back marker. As Nationale strings them out, turning towards the 4th fence, the first of 5 in the back straight. Followed by Foot de Brazil, the leading pair, 6 in front and Ferrum footings, who's pushed aside Mundbeek Park, who's now knocked back into 4th, and then Oh My Lord, the real deal, and Walk with Paul up sides, and then Dutch Schultz over the 4th. The leader is Nationale and Michael O'Sullivan by less than a length to Foot de Brazil and Danny Mullins. Adrift in 3rd is Ferrum footings and Jack Kennedy. As they go towards the 5th, the fence before their first ditch, Nationale, followed by Foot de Brazil, breaking further clear of Ferrum footings. After Ferrum footings, Oh My Lord, who's up into 4th, and then Walk with Paul, the real deal. And then Mundbeek Park, who's now 1 from last. Detached still is Dutch Schultz, the first ditch, taking them inside the halfway stage. Nationale from Foot de Brazil, who's been novice at quite a number of fences, well clear of Ferrum footings. Oh My Lord, Walk with Paul, the real deal. Mundbeek Park, Dutch Schultz. The 5th last fence, Nationale, opens up a couple of lengths advantage over Foot de Brazil, who's chased by stable companion Oh My Lord, who moves into 3rd, and then Ferrum footings and Walk with Paul, the real deal, last in the back straight 4 from the finish. Nationale, followed by Foot de Brazil. They continue 1 and 2. Oh My Lord just 3rd from Walk with Paul and Ferrum footings, setting their sights on the 3rd last and the 2nd and final ditch. It's Nationale, who's made the bulk of the running, maintains a 1-length lead over Foot de Brazil. Over this, Nationale landed with a lead of a little more than a length from Foot de Brazil, much closer in 3rd and 4th respectively. Oh My Lord and Walk with Paul, Ferrum footings is trying to keep in touch as they jump the 2nd last. Nationale from Foot de Brazil. Oh My Lord has parted company with Jody McGarvey when in there in the placed ones, and it's Nationale turning for home. Gone on now by 2.5 to 3 lengths from Foot de Brazil, Walk with Paul, and then Ferrum footings, straightening for the final fence in the Paddy Power from the Horse's Mouth podcast beginner's chase, and it is Nationale coasting along in the lead from Ferrum footings, Walk with Paul, falling back to 4th is Foot de Brazil, and coming to the final fence, it's Nationale and Michael O'Sullivan into the last, and they pop it with a lead of 3 to 4 lengths over Ferrum footings, and then Walk with Paul. Foot de Brazil blundered back and forth, and on the run inside the final half furlong. There's no laying a glove on Nationale as the Supreme winner is up and running straight away over fences for Michael O'Sullivan and Barry Connell. They won it hands down from Ferrum footings, Walk with Paul, Mundbeek Park.
Here is Michael O'Sullivan. Michael, I'm sure you were ticking off the days until we got to the 27th of December. Did they live up to your expectations?
Yeah, look, I suppose weight off the shoulders too. But as you've seen there, his jumping is nothing to be worried about. He was foot perfect everywhere. Winged everything, got in tight to one down the back into the ditch, but very clever doing so, didn't touch a twig. you know, I went a nice gallop in front. He was probably a bit keener today than he's ever been. You know, his first run in a while. He was just, you know, he was lit up a bit, but I was very straightforward. He's just a class horse. He's having a good blow now, so I'd imagine he'll come on plenty for it. But sure, look, delighted.
Love the way as well that he was able to be so comfortable when the other horse went with him early on. Did that please you?
Yeah, exactly. We went a nice gallop everywhere. I'm not sure what the fractions were now, but we weren't hanging around. And it's sure it's good to do something different with him and show people he's a versatile horse and he can do it in front as well, so it's great.
Exciting times ahead. We'll let you weigh in.
Thanks very much, Gary.
Cheers. Just talk to me first of all about your emotions watching the race. How were the nerves as he went round there?
Shocking, absolutely shocking. They were bad since I got up this morning. You know, in all my years of racing, whether it's been owning, riding, before the Supreme Novices Hurdle, this was a different level today. I just didn't want anything to go wrong. You know, we knew we had the horse schooled well. But look, it's a steeplechase. Anything can go wrong. And thanks be to God it didn't. And, you know, there's just an added layer of pressure. He's short price favourite for the Arkle. He's going to be a people's favourite, hopefully. You know, and I'm delighted to get that out of the way. You know, we come back here for the Arkle and then on to Cheltenham, hopefully, if everything's still okay.
I measure the confidence, I'd imagine, of the confidence you have in the horse that he was ridden forward in the race. He was taken on early on. Did it please you the way he was able to adapt?
Yeah, well, we went through it beforehand. Fou de Brazil was the only one that had led before. So he jumped off. Michael gave him a good look at the first, but he jumped better than Fou de Brazil at the first and just jumped himself into the lead. And after that, no point in disappointing him. He let him rock on. But he met everything. When he wasn't meeting it right, he little shuffle in front and put himself right. I'd have to look back at it now, but I don't think he made a mistake.
And Barry, you had that decision to make, not to run at Navan and to come on here. Were you always 100% confident that was the right thing to do?
Absolutely. Look, I mean, look, we probably left a grade 1 behind us yesterday, but we're about making a career for the horse. He's only young, he's only 6, and we want to do the right thing by him all the time. The ground was soft, it wasn't a bother. There's a bottom to it there. It's not heavy ground by any means, and he goes on any ground. Probably doesn't want to bottomless. But look, you know, hopefully he can go on to back here, then Cheltenham, and then back to Punchestown, which he didn't go to last year.
And I presume he's going to stick to 2 miles this season. Do you ever see him stretching out in distance?
Nah, he's the quickest horse I've ever had. I mean, if we wanted to squeeze in a flat race at some stage, he'd probably be a graded horse on the flat.
Is that something you actually would consider for him?
We'd see. Look, I mean, it's not in the front of my mind at the moment. I mean, I want to win a champion chase with them. I think that's where we're going.
Yeah, I think you view that as a real elite race, don't you?
My favourite race is the champion chase. Everyone loved to have a Gold Cup horse, but when I was a kid going to Cheltenham, Badsworth Boy, Viking Flagship, all those horses, that's what really gets the pulse racing. Horse going down at full speed, you can't make a millimetre of a mistake, and to me it's the ultimate. So look, it's a good bit away, but that's the long-term aim.
Well, it was great to see him go out there today and produce a performance like that, fully vindicating your faith in him. Now that the main business is out of the way, I presume you can relax a little bit. Have you got many more runners over the week?
Yeah, we've won tomorrow in the Pertemps, 9 graces. She was 3rd in Fairyhouse off top weight, and I think she loved the jumping around here. And then we've Apples of Brazil in the 2.5 mile maiden hurley. Not really bumper horse, so we've decided to go straight over hurls. And it will be a hot race, but he'll definitely be on the premises.
Lovely. We look forward to seeing them run, Barry. In the meantime, well done here. Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.